Good morning, boys and girls. It's Miss Lisa, the art teacher. Welcome back to my table of art. Well, guess what? We're in week 5 of our summer session. And this week is all about dinosaurs. Dinosaurs. Well, dinosaurs were on our Earth way before we ever were. I'd say maybe about 230 million years ago. That's a really, really long time. Well, that was during the Triassic period. And that was when we had one supercontinent called Pangaea. Do you know what a continent is? It's what we live on. We're on North America. And there's also South America. That's 2 continents. Now we have 7, but back during the Triassic period, there was one supercontinent, Pangaea. So anyway, how do we know there was dinosaurs? There's got to be somebody told us. Was there somebody there 230 million years ago that came back and told us? No. The secret lies in a fossil. What's a fossil? Well, a fossil is an ancient rock, a fossil. And there's these guys in our day, they're called paleontologists. Well, they go digging up these fossils and they find all kinds of hidden clues that tell us all about the dinosaurs. They find things like bones and teeth and dung. You know what dung is? It's poop. Even that lies clues in how old and when and where and what the dinosaurs were all about. So, guess what we're going to do today? We're going hunting for fossils. And if we find them, then we're going to know all about them by their bones, their teeth, or whatever else we find, even the dung. Oh, and if you're wondering what I'm wearing, well, I never go hunting without my dinosaur gear. So you ready? Let's go hunting for fossils. Okay, boys and girls, so I'm out here in the rocks and the desert, and I've come across a patch that looks like there might be a fossil underneath it. So I brought a couple of friends you might have noticed. They want to help me find the fossils. So a paleontologist, he doesn't just go in there and start hammering away at this stone area. He has to be very, very careful not to disrupt whatever's underneath the sand and stone. So after he chips away, he takes these really soft brushes and he kind of like brushes away the sand, hoping to find something really ancient underneath. So I see a little something sticking through the sand, so maybe it is a fossil. So let's start brushing away the sand. See what we find. Looks like it might be the skull. A skull of some kind of creature. What kind could it be? I don't know. Let me look some more. My gosh, you know what this looks like? This looks like the skull of a triceratop. Do you know what a triceratop is? This guy over here, he's a triceratop. You know why he's called a triceratop? Because he's got these 3 pointy horns sticking out of his head. 2 up here at the top and 1 right above his nose. Triceratop, and look, my fossil. It looks like the triceratop. He's got 1, 2, 3 horns. Bones last forever, and those horns are made out of ivory. They're not going anywhere. Or I'm not sure what they're made out of. Calcium composites? I don't know. Let's see if we can find some bones along with his skull. So let's very carefully brush away the sand. Oh my goodness! I think I see more fossil evidence of a triceratop. This is amazing! We're going to be famous, guys! We found the fossil remains of a triceratop. I'm so excited. Nah, I'm just kidding. This is fake. I made this. And guess what? you're going to make one too. We're going to make our own fossils of dinosaurs. So if you're ready to have some fun and make some fossils, let's get started, guys. I'll see you in a minute at my table of art. Okay, boys and girls, we're back at my table of art. I've taken off my dinosaur gear because I'm done hunting for fossils, but I'd like to show you what I'm sending home to you so you can make your dinosaur bones and fossils at home. First thing I want to send you is this sheet. It's 3 different dinosaurs. First one is the Triceratops, and these are the bones that are left behind from the Triceratops. This guy, remember the one we found when I went fossil hunting? He's got those 3 horns, tri meaning 3, Triceratops. Next one we have is Tyrannosaurus Rex, otherwise known as T-Rex. That's this guy. Everybody's afraid of T-Rex, but guess what? Do you know what they compare the T-Rex to in today's world? You're not going to believe this. A chicken. They say that T-Rex is in the same family of a chicken. Can you imagine? Imagine if your chicken was this tall. Maybe he would be a T-Rex. Who knows? This is what they say. So this is your Tyrannosaurus Rex. Rawr, the chicken. And the last one we have is this guy down here with the long neck. He's called Brachiosaurus. And that's this guy. He's a vegetarian. He don't eat no meat. He only eats vegetables, the leafy greens. Brachiosaurus. Do you know how they figured that out? It's the dung. Remember I told you about the dung bulb? They examine the fossilized dung to see what's inside of it. And they never found any traces of meat, only leafy greens. He's a vegetarian. I bet you know some vegetarians in your own family. So you could call them Brachiosauruses if they don't get mad. Okay, so you're going to get this sheet so you can see all the bones of those dinosaurs. I'm also going to send you an outline of a dinosaur. I'm not sure which one you're going to get. There's 3 kinds. You may get the T-Rex, you may get the Triceratops, or you might get the Brachiosaurus. But either way, you're each going to get one that's already outlined. I'm going to send you the skull that matches with that dinosaur. So all you would have to do is glue that on. I'm also going to send you a sheet of this sandy colored paper. And I'll show you what we're going to use that for later. And I'm also going to send you a little sheet with a small version of that big printout, the idea of what your project's going to look like, and just some of the materials that you're going to need. All those bones. And everyone is going to get a little packet. And in this little packet, you're going to get some sand, actual sand, and some cotton swabs. These are going to pretend, we're going to use these to pretend to be our bones. We can break them in half, we can break them in quarters, we can use them at their full length. Either way, they're going to be our bones. So, if you're ready to make a fossil, let's get down to the table. I'll see you in 2 seconds, okay? Gotta position my camera. Okay, guys, if you don't mind, my friends are going to stay here with us as we do our project. Mr. T-Rex, Miss Brachiosaurus, and Mr. Triceratops, okay? So how about we get started? First thing we need to do is we need to get out our black sheet of paper, which is the one that has the outline of our dinosaur. So we're starting with a Triceratops. So let's look at our printout to see how do the bones in a Triceratops look. Well, we know that they have a skull. So this would be the first thing that I would glue down. And I would just look for the outline like a puzzle and place that right where the skull would fit into the puzzle piece. You're going to need a little glue. So I'm going to take my purple little glue and I'm going to glue the back of my Triceratops head. Can you see the purple glue? And I'm going to glue it right in place where the outline of his skull is, okay? Or if you prefer, you could put the glue inside the skull and then place the paper on top of it. So this is our first step. We're doing the Triceratops. Here's his one horn, two horn, and this little one is his third horn because the third horn is much smaller than the other two big ones. See that? Two big ones and then the little one over his nose. So we've got his skull on. Now we want to take out our Q-tips. Our cotton swabs. And we're going to decide how we want to put our bones. You could arrange them any way you want. You could break them in half. They're very easy to break. Well, with a scissor. We need a scissor. Let's grab a scissor. You could cut them in half. Whoopsie. So you have a lot more bones. I think I'm going to do that. You know why? Because these are a little too long. So let's just cut them in half. And let's just have some fun. Take your bones and start placing them inside the outline of your Triceratops. So now I have some small ones and some longer ones. I think if I put the longer ones along his back, that'll match his tail and his back. What do you think of that? And how about these little legs? Yeah, they're kind of little, so I'd use the smaller ones for the legs. I'm placing them right now. I'm not ready to glue because I want to decide what I want to do. That looks pretty cool. But look at this. He's got these bones coming down. This is the part where your ribs are. If you feel your chest, you can feel the ribs inside of your body. They're one right after the other. So maybe I'll make his ribs. Look how we're going to make his ribs. All these bones, one, excuse me, one right after the other. I'm making my Triceratops rib cage. That looks really cool, doesn't it? I'm loving this. I'm loving this fossil making. I hope you are too. So I've got his rib. Maybe I'll move this one over here and that one over there. Yeah, I like that better. Let's move you guys over. Yeah, that looks better. This looks better because they go from big to small on the rib. But you guys can position your ribs any way you want. Don't worry about what I'm doing. Maybe I'll put one from his neck going to the rib cage. That looks kind of cool. I like that. Or maybe even like that. I'll play any way I want. And you do the same. Just play with your bones. Decide where you want to put them. Let's connect this to that. I'm playing. I'm going to cut some more. Just make them all connect together. Make it look really cool. Yeah, put this, make it look like the joints connecting. I like that. My cotton tops look like joints connecting. What are joints? Joints are where everything bends. My elbow bends, that's a joint. Where my wrist twists, that's a joint. Let's use the cotton top for the joints. Not really sure if this is right, but you know what? I'm having fun, and that's all I want you to do, is have fun while you're doing this. I like this. What do you think? Connect that right to his ribs. That looks cool. These are really cool dinosaur bones. All right, guys. I think that's how I'm going to leave mine. So you know what I need to do? You know it. I've got to glue them down. So I can either put glue right on my Q-tip. That's one thing I could do. Or I could put glue right on the paper. That's another thing I could do. Either way, whatever is easiest for you, that's what I want you to do. Don't want you to worry about the proper way the bones go because this is more fun than anything else. We're making our own fossils. We could create our own dinosaurs. Make the bones funny, make the bones the correct way, make the bones any way you want. So we're putting all our lovely bones onto our black sheet of construction paper. We're gluing them down so they stay. And I'm having fun. I hope you are. I like making fossils. They're cool. Fossils! I even like saying the word. I'm making fossils. Sounds like that cartoon where he was making waffles. I'm making waffles. I don't remember what cartoon that was, but he was funny. Maybe you guys remember. So listen, I would love to see some of the work you guys have been doing. I haven't seen one art project from any of you, and that makes me sad because I know how creative and wonderful artist you are. And I just want to see what you're doing, see how you're doing. Make me feel good seeing your wonderful artwork. Maybe you could take a picture or have mom or dad or somebody at home take a picture and send it to your teacher. And then she'll send it to me and I'd be so happy. I got an extra bone. What should I do with it? How about I just connect it right here? Cool. Okay, so look at that. We've got our bones laid out. So once this dries, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the dinosaur out of the black paper. Now, you don't have to be perfect with this. I'm going to just cut around. I'm not going to cut on the line. I'm going around it. I'm not even going into his horns. I'm just making a quick outline of the whole thing. Best if you wait till it dries, but I'm doing it now just so I could show you what to do next. See how we're just going into it? I'm not cutting into all the details. I'm just cutting around my fossil. So now I have just the outline remaining of the dinosaur. See, I didn't go into the legs up to the white lines. Can you see that? Okay. I just cut around him. And the next thing I want to do is I want to glue him to the sand colored paper. Do you know why I'm doing that? Because I want to make it look like he's embedded in the sand, like fossils are when we find them. They're embedded in rocks and sand, and that's what I want to show with my fossil. So I'm going to put some glue down on this paper. If it was dry, I would be putting it on the back of my dinosaur, but he's not dry, and I don't want to turn him upside down because I don't want to mess up all the bones. And I'll just gently tap this down so it stays in place. So now that I have this in order, I want to make it really look like he's in sand. So I'm going to get some of my glue and go all around the dinosaur. Just a big gobbly-goobly mess. See this? Just a big mess. Don't worry about going on the black construction paper. Everything just makes it all the more realistic. So now that I put my glue down, you could use a cotton swab to do this or your finger. I prefer my finger. They work better. Just smear the glue all the way around your picture. Don't worry if you get glue on top of it. Don't worry because it's a fossil and it's in sand, so it's not going to be a bad thing. See that? We're putting it all around our fossil. Put the glue all around, make a dirty figurine mess. Okay, but that's okay. Now for the sand. You all got a little packet of sand? Take your sand out. And like you're taking a pinch of salt, which is just a little bit between your two fingers, and you're just sprinkling the sand over the glue so it sticks. Or you could take your bag. Here's a good idea. Take your bag, make a teeny cut in the corner of your bag. Seal it up. Bring the sand to that end. And just let it sprinkle out. That's another option. Pinch it like salt or cut a little tiny corner in the bag and just shake the sand out onto your picture. Look at this. This is making it look more realistic, like it's a real fossil that we found outside in the rocks and the sand. And what's the clue that we know that this might be a triceratop? He's got 3 horns. Then we just let our glue dry, and we have one. Oh, excuse me, little allergy sneeze. We have one awesome triceratop fossil. So when you go searching for your bones, remember, don't hammer into the rocks. You got to be very gentle because these fossils are so delicate. We don't want to mess them up. And if you're brushing away the sand, use a really soft brush so you don't ruin any of the beautiful details of a fossil. And when this is all dry, you shake off the sand and you have one awesome fossil. What do you think? You want to go fossil hunting? I do. See you in a little bit.
Okay, boys and girls, this is Miss Lisa saying ciao for now from my table of art. And some of my friends saying goodbye too. Triceratops, T-Rex, the chicken, and Bronchiosaurus, the vegetarian. Have a great week, guys. Enjoy your camping session number 5, all about dinosaurs.